So according to reports out today, apparently Nuno is getting sacked. Welcome to your transfer news. Hi guys, hope you're doing well and welcome to your latest Forest news and transfer news, I guess. Coming up today, I'm going to talk you through all these Nuno reports. I'll try and tell you as much as I can. I have put a video out on Patreon which outlines all the details in there that I know, so you can check it out on there. You can scan that QR code or click on the link below. I will also cover off the full costs of Douglas Luiz and how much did Forest really pay for him. So if you're enjoying the content, please don't forget to hit the like button. Make sure you're subscribed as well if you are new. And as I mentioned, please do support us on Patreon if you can. But let's kick this off with the Nuno story. Is Nuno getting sacked? Maybe you haven't heard it yet, so let me give you the full details here. So Matteo Morasso took to his social medias today, and by the way, he is tier 1 in terms of sourcing level, and he said the following. Let's just bring it up. He says Nottingham Forest are considering sacking Nuno Espirito Santo. Tension between the ownership and the Portuguese coach also stemming from certain signings during this transfer window. This is what Nuno told Sky Sports a week ago. We are very far off in terms of the squad. The plan we had didn't work out. The preparation in terms of the squad is not ideal. We don't know what squad we have. We have players working here who know they're going out on loan. We have a big problem. Call Houston. The English club is already evaluating other coaches. So he said that this morning, and then there were further reports out to suggest that, Forest have already got some names lined up for replacements. And I saw a report, let me just check it. It said that Forest are looking at Paulo Fonseca on their list of candidates to replace Nuno. So this was adding into that snowballing effect of what was going on with Nuno and his future. Now, Nuno's got a presser this afternoon. I can imagine what the questions are all going to be about. And this is mainly stemming from the fact that it's coming from Matteo, who is a very good source. I will tell you that it is absolute BS. Nuno is not getting sacked. Nuno is going nowhere. Have there been discussions and questions and tension and all this stuff? Well, let me just ask you this very simply. For us laymen, us normal working class people, have you ever had a heated discussion in your job? Have you ever had a disagreement with your boss? Or if you're the boss, with one of your employees? The answer to that surely is yes. I mean, if you haven't, can I come work for you? You must be like the greatest boss ever, right? So these things always happen in everyday life. And the stuff they're talking about isn't even recent, right? It's happened a while ago. And Nuno is not happy with the players that have come in. Okay, so there's a lot of spin being done on Forest right now, and quite frankly, I don't like it. I always feel when Forest get themselves into a good place, when we see in the likes of, is there any coincidence that Douglas Luiz has just been confirmed by Forest and suddenly this bomber gets dropped out about Nuno? We've signed so many good players when we're seeing the likes of those smaller clubs like Spurs struggling to get players through the door, or they're getting hijacked by bigger clubs than them in terms of Arsenal, right? So as these positive waves come through from Forest, there's always going to be journalists who are trying to change and spin the narrative. I am telling you with 100% certainty, Nuno is still going to be Forest manager. And I'll tell you what, it goes a step further because this shows you the ripple effect into what happens. According to the betting world right now, Nuno is 5-4 to be the next manager sacked. He is favourite by a country mile. He's more favourite to be sacked than Harry Potter. Okay, Harry Potter from West Ham. And this is what these things do. So, I'm not giving you guys financial advice. I don't gamble myself, right? But I wouldn't be putting any money on Nuno getting sacked. Now, there is stories that have happened within Forest, right? There have been, shall we say, discussions, shall we say, conversations about why I think Matteo would have done this, right? And these are things that I heard from a little while ago, I didn't want to bring him up because I don't really want to spin negative narratives unless it's something that really has to be shared, right? So I've put it on Patreon. It is behind the paywall because this kind of information, I don't want Ops fans really hearing, if I'm honest with you, right? So if you want to check out the full story and find out what I know about it all, go check it out. And by the way, the grass ain't always greener on the other side, right? So if Nuno goes, trust me, you won't like who Forest would be lining up instead of him. That's on Patreon as well. But what I will say on here is that categorically, Nuno will still be Forest manager. He is happy to be at Forest. He is happy with the signings. Like, let's get some context into this. What Nuno said about we're not ready and all this, I fully agreed with him at the time. Because at the time he did that interview, we were rejection FC. Players weren't coming through the door. There was the whole Gibbs White thing going on with Spurs. Well, it was a bit after that. But everything in pre-season wasn't showing right. And then we saw that on the performances, if you want to use that word, on the pitch during pre-season. I got bantered plenty. 1 goal in 7 games. No wins in 7. Oh, you guys know the narratives and the spins of that. So you can understand why there was frustration with Nuno. But this wasn't a case of Nuno's walking out on Forest, right? And every single manager in the Premier League, in the Championship, in grassroots football, even at my level where I coach, right? I want more players because I want more, as Nuno would say, solutions. I want more options, okay? So every manager is always going to ask for it. Look at Glasner yesterday after the Palace match. He was crying, man, literal tears coming off his face. I've only got 14 players. 2 of them are kids. I've already told 4 of these players they need to bugger off anyway. I need players. This is not acceptable. This is our fault, blah, 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 right? So you're hearing these narratives from everywhere. But rest assured, Nuno will be in the dugout this Sunday for the Crystal Palace match. I guarantee it. Vince McMahon style. Okay, so that's the Nuno story. If you want more kind of inside info, or what do you guys call it these days, ITK stuff, go check it out over on Patreon. Now, what I want to do, though, is get back to the good vibes and the good news, right? Because we've seen now the breakdown of how much Forest paid for Douglas Luiz. And honestly, it's no surprise that they're all coming at Forest with all their negative stories. Because this was released from Juventus. And this is legit, by the way. Juventus have to release these kind of accounting informations because they're a PLC. And they have to make this kind of news on public record. Right, so let me read you through it. The Juventus said, agreement with Forest for the disposal of the player Douglas Luiz. It's a harsh word, disposal, but anyway. Juventus Football Club announces that an agreement with Forest for the temporary disposal. That's such a harsh word. Until the 30th of June 2026 of the registration rights of the player Douglas Luiz have been reached in a consideration of 3 million euros. Okay, so that's the loan fee for Douglas Luiz. 3 million euros, which is about, I think, 1.7 to roughly 2 million pounds, right? The agreement further entails the obligation for Nottingham Forest to acquire the player's registration rights on a permanent basis upon the occurrence of certain conditions during the 25-26 season. The agreed fee for the potential definitive disposal is 25 million euros. What the hell? 25 million euros. I don't know what that is in pounds. Someone tell me in the comments. I would guess it's around 22.5 million, something like that. 22. So in total, let me finish it first. Payable over 4 financial years. So we're talking about 25 mil divided by 4, which is basically what, 6-ish mil? Euros, by the way, every year. I think I could nearly afford, no, I can't, but it's so cheap in footballing terms. This amount may be increased during the term of the player's employment contract by up to 3.5 million euros upon the achievement of specific sporting objectives. So, in summary, Forest are paying about 2 million for a loan fee. They're then paying about 22 million for the obligation once that triggers, and there is a further 2.5 million on options. right? So that brings us, if we ignore the options, you're looking at £25 million in total, including the loan fee for Douglas Luiz for this beauty man. And whoever said it in the comments yesterday, you are right. I am getting Felipe vibes from that beard. I can't lie. I can't lie. So even if every bonus in terms of the bonuses in the deal is hit, we're looking at a maximum outlay of £27 million for Douglas Luiz. That is crazy cheap money for the sheer quality of a player we're getting. Edu and Marinakis have absolutely knocked this one out of the park as far as I'm concerned. So how do you feel about that price? Let me know in the comments below. Let me know what you're thinking about Nuno. Do you maybe think he does walk? Do you maybe think Forest will sack him? In spite of everything I've just reassured you with? Let me know in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you've hit the like. Make sure you're subscribed. We're back at 8 with Grumpy Old Reds tonight. Come on, you Reds.